and Dak Random Chat Podcast. I'm Dak.
And I'm Zeke.
And today our random topic generator has given us the lovely topic of
Free time. Very simple topic today. Free time, bro.
Yeah, no research needed.
No research. You just kind of talk about what we do with our free time, I guess, eh?
Yeah. I guess we could have looked up like the Latin root of free time.
We can look up the Latin root of free time. Keep it simple. Keep it.
Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
Keep it simple, stupid. Yeah, free time. We all got it. A little bit of it. Some of us have more than others of it. What do you do with your free time, Dakota?
Oh, well, if you asked me this like 2 months ago, I would have said like video games, Netflix, and all that stuff because I didn't really do a whole lot. I was just bored. But now, my free time, I spend woodworking, going chilling with friends. I mean, that's what I did beforehand, but woodworking is more of the vice now.
The vice woodworking.
Yeah, you gotta have the vice when
Fair
you're,
enough.
when you're in your free time. I don't know. What about you?
Maybe get to I like the way that you separated it because I feel like that's a good idea. Because I mean, I feel like we've gone through a period with the pandemic where majority of people had a lot of free time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the same way where I had a different like I use my free time differently, I guess, during the pandemic than I do now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll start with like pandemic time. So during the pandemic, like a lot of stuff was closed, and I remember we had like school was like shut down for a week while they were moving everything online, and you were like expected not to like leave the house, and the gyms were closed, and a lot of stuff was closed. So I feel like, okay, like pre-pandemic, how I spent my free time was like you said, a lot of hanging out with people. I did a lot of working out. I had like a consistent like workout regimen. And then there was also a little bit of video games, a little bit of movies, and stuff like that. During the pandemic, though, my video game time shot up through the roof, bro. Like there was like I remember the pandemic hit, and then like while we were on that week off of school, that's when like Call of Duty Warzone dropped. So I remember me and the boys were just going so hard during that time period. And it was basically like it was like a lifestyle, bro. So like we'd wake up fairly early, like around I'd wake up around like 9 or so. By like 10:30, the boys would be on gaming, and we'd like play until probably around 1 o'clock.
PM or AM?
PM.
Okay, so like
it was like a lunch break.
Okay.
Yeah, so 3 hours lunch break. And then we'd like game again from like I'd say like 2, like either 2 or 3 until like 2.
Hey.
And it was just a lot of gaming. Like we played so much Warzone, and then from there we played Warzone, and then everyone was like, you know what, we should probably let's get the full game. So we bought it was on it would have been Modern Warfare, the remake of Modern Warfare.
Mm-hmm.
So we do that, and like so that was like our first like 3 months or so, and then we like kind of get bored of it, so then we like kind of mix and mingle. So I remember we played a game that came out for free on the PlayStation Store, which was called Fall Guys.
Okay.
So we played that one for a brief period of time. Then we also played Among Us.
Mm-hmm.
We also played some Siege. Like there's like it was just a lot of video games during that time period, just because there's not a lot of other things to do. So we just gamed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember, like we'd game so much that I'd have to like switch to the different side of the couches every so often because like the one like cushion would like sink in so much that my butt would hurt just chilling. So I'd get up and like move on to the other side and then just continue gaming. And then so that shot up a lot.
Dude, on that note, I had that stupid sectional upstairs in my room.
Oh yeah.
And like when I was like isolating for like all like either having COVID or having to isolate because of close contacts and stuff, I literally sat on that couch because I had to stay in my room. I had a couch and a TV in there and my video games. I sat on that couch in the morning on the left side, and then I would take the cushion, and then I would switch them out, and I'd fluff up the other one, and I would sit down, I'm like, please heal, and then I would sit on that one for like another like 6 hours.
So, like, it was like literally just rotating like this. Like me, it was rotating the sides of the couches just to like get even flow. But then like so, those video games was a lot. But then like it was also like a lot of like TV shows, movies. Like I remember during that time period, like Disney Plus had just come out. So like during the first year, like 2020, me and my like when I wasn't playing video games, me and my sister would just like crush a bunch of Disney movies, like all the ones that we never saw, like from like the old era to like I guess this modern kind of stuff. So we do that. We watched a lot of like Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Legend of Korra. We watched Studio Ghibli because it was put on Netflix during that time period. So that was a lot of my free time. I was just doing like literally nothing in front of a screen, and I'm like surprised I never went blind because good lord was I in front of that screen for so long. Minecraft was another one that was big. We popped on
the boys did
Minecraft
servers.
And like we had like so like for those of you guys that don't know, Dakota and like a lot of the boys that like we hang out with, they're all Xbox dudes. My boys, my Latino brothers, are all PlayStation boys. So like I hung out like I'd play a lot of video games with them, not a whole lot with you guys. But and like during that time period was when they were like the two like systems were kind of trying to develop Unity or whatever. So like I remember Warzone was big because we could play with homies that were on Xbox as well. So we played that one a lot. Like we had
Apex
a couple of Apex eventually did that too. So we do that as well. But it was a lot of video games. And just like a butt ton of screen time. Like I remember I got so round during the pandemic just because like I wouldn't like there was no working out. Like the gyms would be closed for like huge stretches of time, and I never worked out at home.
Yeah, and then they would like open up for like 4 days, and then someone would break some policy, and then they'd all get shut down.
Or like so. That was my pandemic vibe. Was just like a lot of screen time. And then we also had the Discord with the boys. I remember we developed the Discord. And
I started up like 2 different ones, and then we finally got one that stuck.
Yeah, so like they merged, and I remember like we'd spend a lot of evenings I'd spend just chatting with the fellas, and we'd be like playing our own video games and stuff like that. And when I wasn't with you guys, I'd be with my boys, and we'd do the same kind of stuff where we'd all be on like a PlayStation store. We'd play some games together, but then like sometimes we'd take breaks and play different games. Mm-hmm. So I remember I used to play a lot of like solo games, and Daniel plays a lot of solo games, so like a lot of times we'd like be playing our own things, and then eventually when everyone would join, we'd all like lump up together to play a game. Mm-hmm. But it's a lot of video games. Holy crap, man! Like I'm looking back on it, I'm like there was like it was like a full-time job during that time period.
But it's kind of funny because during the pandemic, I got a full-time job right as it started, and like I was needed because I was like a frontline worker,
right.
And so my free time was like spent hanging out with like coworkers and stuff because like we're all working frontline. It's COVID, like we're all close contact with each other all the time, right. So we spent a decent amount of time together. So my free time during like very beginning COVID was like spending time with coworkers that were already like if we were exposed, right? And then
that's all. Hey.
And then school hit, and then I would do school mostly, and then in my free time, then I would do like the video games and Netflix. And then it got to the point where, like, online school, you'd be so far ahead that you could just do nothing.
Yeah,
like,
facts, dude.
I would either work or I would play video games.
Yeah, I played a lot during 2020. And then once summer hit, I think that's when things changed a little bit, too, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, it became a little less video games. During 2020, that's when we did a lot of sports. So, sports, in general, like, for my free time, it's a lot of sports stuff, whether it's, like, watching sports or, like, playing sports. Yeah. So, we played a lot. I remember we played a lot of basketball. We played a lot of volleyball, played some soccer, played some ultimate frisbee, some kickball. So we did that. And then walks. We did a lot of nature walks.
A
lot of river bottom walks looking at birds because of our boy Cody loving birds. That's what he developed with his free time during the pandemic. He's like, I'm going to watch birds. I'm going to embrace my inner 40-year-old man.
Hey,
and watch birds, and then all of us would
fun.
Like all of us. It was fun. Like I remember, like, but some guys would get so into like the birds, and I would just be like, "This is pretty good exercise. This is pretty good socializing."
Dave's got gym brain. Everyone else got bird brain.
Right? I'm getting so many steps in right now, bro. We did that. I watched me and Nick after sports on Sundays. We'd go hang out, and that's when we started watching Vikings. So that was like something that we did. I'm trying to remember other stuff. Like 2020 feels like it was so long ago now. Like it feels like an eternity ago. It feels like a lifetime ago. So that's what I would do during that was my free time during the pandemic, which is like a lot of video games, and then when summer hit, would be a lot of sports. But then most of it was just screen time or like chilling on like group chats or stuff like that. And nowadays it's so different. Like
Actually, though,
it's like unreal different, like to a certain extent. I guess. So like video games are like non-existent for me, dude. Like I got
you got the PS5.
I got a PS5.
3
I
times.
played it a few times. Like it was more for flex, honestly. But I played. I'm trying to think. I think I've turned it on one time since I moved here, which was like middle of March.
Yeah.
So one time since I moved here to play like 20 minutes of basketball.
Yeah.
Like 2K. So like video games non-existent right now. I don't play a whole lot of video games right now. Taking my break after doing it for so friggin' long.
Yeah, I think after 2020, like when the winter hit, was like when I like really like that was when the new DLC from Destiny got released. So I played the crap out of that. Like Destiny was like the only video game that I usually played. And then like Minecraft with the boys, once in a while we would start a new server, and then somebody would forget to cancel their 30-day free subscription, and they have $40 worth of charges on their card from like 4 months of not doing it, or a year. I had 2 servers running, and I just like looked, it was like, you've been paying for this realm, these 2 realms for 2 years. I'm like, oh crap. It's like I could have like had like $300 in my pocket, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, we played so that was definitely my pandemic vibe too. Just a lot of video games.
Yeah, and then like when the restrictions loosened up, Cody came over and we like he was showing us Subnautica, and then I played the crap out of that.
Yo, you were murdering the second one when I was moving in.
Yeah, I beat that one. Yeah, no, I like those like solo player games because like as much fun as like Destiny is, and like it's a great game. Lots of fun. I'm actually gonna play it a little bit later tonight for the first time in a little bit. Lord Xerxes has summoned me.
Been summoned.
But yeah, I think now I was so like overwhelmed with like being able to play so much, and like all I had to do was like I couldn't find any jobs. I would like spend like half my day looking for jobs and the other half like watching Netflix and playing video games, and then and I would do school the other part of it. Like whenever I had time, that was like the main part. But yeah, like, my free time was playing video games or watching TV.
Yeah.
Or applying for jobs. Now I got 2 jobs and potentially a third one coming up.
Just right now.
It's like my free time is very stretched thin, and all I want to do is hang out with friends, go watch movies with people, and like go do sports. Like we did sports on Tuesday, and that was a lot of fun. And like I don't know, just like quality time just seems so much more important now, which is great.
Yeah.
Even though like we learned that throughout the pandemic, but after a while, I think that that became more of a reality, and you see the people who like didn't find that, and like they're still like kind of looking for something, and I think that it's something that's really important, and yeah, that's definitely where I'm at right now.
Fair. Yeah, me so video games are the one that did change. That's the drastic change.
Yeah, like right now
from like pandemic to now. Like I feel like I'll probably get back into it eventually. I feel like what I've noticed with myself, honestly, I play more video games when like the weather's bad, like when it's colder and I don't want to be outside.
Yeah.
In the summer, it's a lot less because I like being outside, like playing sports and stuff like that. So like right now, it's like on that vibe. Plus, I mean, a lot's gone on in like the last 3 months alone. Like moved here, finished school, and got a new job. So currently working too as well. So it's been a lot of changes. So I guess it's just video games was the one that was easy to cut out. So I'm doing that, but like. TV watching is still big. It's still pretty big because I watched. Let's see, I just finished Stranger Things the other day.
Yeah, dude, let's go.
Waiting for volume 2.
Got a little bit of time for
that. Me and my sister are watching Kenobi.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, so that one's an episode. It comes out every episode. Like every episode comes out every week, once a week. The Boys just dropped, so I gotta get on that.
Okay, so like,
and then there's you and me. We have like a literal butt ton of shows that we're working on right now.
We gotta finish Moon Knight and Severance.
Moon Knight, Severance. We did finish Love, Death, and Robots.
We did.
We literally have Disenchantment on the That's another show. That's another show I watched with Nick when we moved in together last year.
Mhm.
We just like crushed Disenchantment, and there's a new season of that. By myself, I watch a lot of. So I watch a lot of sports. So we got the Stanley Cup. We got the NBA Finals right now. So we're doing that. I've always had a soft spot, soft spot, I guess, for like crime shows or movies or stuff like that. So I remember I've been watching.
Did you watch Ted Bundy tapes?
I did watch the 10 Buddy tapes. I just finished the John Wayne Gacy tapes. I never watched what's it called, Making a Murderer. So that's like a doc that came out on Netflix like years ago.
2 or 3, 4 years ago.
Yeah. So I never got onto that train, but like it just kind of showed up on my feed after watching the Gacy tape. So I'm watching that right now. There's another one that I found interesting. I know the story a little bit, but it delves in a little deeper. It's called The Raincoat Killer.
Okay.
So that one just dropped. There's like so many crimes documentaries and like docuseries dropping on Netflix right now. I just finished My Worst Roommate.
Oh dang, that one looked hardcore.
So like there's so much going on. Like I love those shows, and like they're like shows that are like super chill. I always put them on the background. I love watching by myself just because like I find them fascinating. So I don't need a person kind of thing. I just crush them on my own.
Yeah.
I think I get that from my mom because she loves Law and Order and stuff like that.
Special Victims Unit and all that stuff.
All that stuff. So that's where I got my vibe from. So doing that, and then me and my sister watch a butt ton of shows. So we have a lot. Me and my sister have a lot too because we watch Kenobi, Stranger Things, and then what we do is every summer we'll alternate with either Avatar: The Last Airbender or The Legend of Korra. So last year we didn't actually finish The Legend of Korra, so we're still wrapping up The Legend of Korra, and then we're gonna watch.
You're gonna watch The Legend of Korra with me this
summer
too.
I'm watching like a lot of like, Avatar right now because I'm watching it with you, and I think like a few other buddies who haven't seen it.
I've seen Avatar. I haven't seen Legend of Korra though.
Legend of Korra slaps. Well, we'll get there too.
Yeah, I think for me, just like since like starting to work a lot more, my free time's been like that one day I watched the whole season of Stranger Things in like one sitting. It felt great. I like got a little bit of food, and then just went and sat down. I was like, today's my day. Like I'm not working out. I'm not working. Nobody's home. I'm watching this show because I literally haven't watched TV since like the last time I watched it with you. And at that point, it had been like
few days actually.
At least a few days. So I was like, I haven't watched anything. I'm just gonna throw this on. It just released. I heard it's good. Crushed it. I'm like, nice. And then since then, I think we watched Love, Death, and Robots, and that's about it. Yeah, for me, like I've just been like super busy, and I kind of dialing it back now, and I kind of want to like throw some TV here and there tonight. Play a little bit of video games, but
yeah. So I think that's kind of how I spend a lot of my free time. But yeah, working out's a big one. So like now that like the gyms are open, I actually work at a gym now.
I guess that was what.
So like
free time,
that's free time, right? So like I've been doing getting back into the groove of things with fitness. So I'm not working at the gym. I'm working out at the gym. Yeah. So getting that in.
I guess for me with working out, that's like a huge part of my free time. I didn't even think about that.
That's free time, yeah, dude.
Like I think currently, out of the last 3 weeks, I've missed 3 days, and then today would be the 4th.
I didn't miss days. It was like rest days, dude.
Yeah, and so like working out in a row, like
yeah,
I'm like crushing it, and like I'm actually loving it. Fair. Like in the past, it was actually a job to go like work out. Like I don't want to.
Now you're just kind of doing it for fun, right?
That's like what I do to go. You know, enjoy the rest of my day.
And I've always enjoyed it too, so I've actually been getting back into like some really intense kind of like training kind of thing because where I work, they're called FIT classes. Yeah. So they're functional interval training. So you do circuits, you do about 8 exercises. You do each one. The way I have it set up is like you do each one 3 or 4 sets, and then you pound out as many sets as you can or reps as you can in a 40-minute span. And then you have like 40 or 30 seconds off between them, and you just work your way through. It takes about 45 minutes or whatever. So that's how I do it. I have like the traditional like setup. I have a partner that does the classes as well. She leads the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So I try to hit up Tuesdays at lunch, and then I'll hit up Wednesdays usually around, I think it's 6:30 class. It's a later class. He just kind of opened up. And she makes it so hard, dude. Like, on Tuesday, she does Tabata. And Tabata basically is similar structure. We have let's say like 8 exercises, and then instead of 3 or 4 sets, you have 8 sets, and you're on for 20 seconds, and then you're off for 10. And yeah, so that's the circuit. And that one, like I remember, the first time I did it, I was exhausted. The second time last week, I almost threw up, dude. It was just so intense. It like really exhausted my body. And then we wanted playing volleyball afterwards. So I got a really good workout that day.
And for 85 minutes.
Literally none of it was tracked because I didn't wear my watch. And then the Wednesday we did, it was basically a similar structure, except what you do is like, so when we started off, it was, so like, I think it was like about 8 exercises, if I remember correctly. But you're like at one station, and all we're using are like dumbbells, body weight, and kettlebells.
Mm-hmm.
And what you do is each workout you do for a minute. So you go a minute on, then you get like
25 seconds.
like a 10-second break, and then you're on to the next one for a minute. And then you do that like until you're done all 8, and then after that, a round. After that round, you take a 2-minute break.
Jeez.
And then from then, the next one, you do the same thing, but then the time gets shortened, so it goes from like a 60-minute or 60-second to a 40-second, and then from a 40-second to a 30-second. So it was intense. Like it's really good. Like it's basically training. And it's really good because you get like absolutely gassed.
Yeah.
And then just take some rest days. And the rest days are when I'm working, so it works out really well.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, so with that and sports, it's like basically like everything I want to do so far. I know me and my other buddy, she wants to go to the O2 Center, and she wants to get into kickboxing. So I might eventually add that to my training as well. But yeah, so fitness, now that the gyms are open and everything's rolling, we're just vibing and exercising. And then when I'm not exercising, it's TV, watching shows,
chills.
And chills.
Sports.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's crazy to think like how similar our free time is, but then you like let's look at someone else just like random that we like don't really know.
Mm-hmm.
What do they do on their free time, right? Like I know social media is like a huge thing.
Social media is a big one. Yeah, I've had buddies that have like spent literal hours like on TikToks.
Days on TikTok.
I like that's one reason I never got it. I was like, I'd probably get really addicted to this thing too.
Mm-hmm.
So I never did that.
Yeah, I just deleted Instagram because like it was like starting to take more than an hour of my day, like
right,
cumulatively on the day.
So that's fair. So social media is a big one to it. What's another good one? What else do people do in their free time?
Well, like lots of people go to like bars.
Oh yeah,
and like hang out, and I feel some people go to sports games. Some people go to like restaurants or just
like traveling too.
Lots of people do like crazy like parties.
Yeah, partying is a big one.
That's a big one.
Drugs, like just straight up doing drugs.
Just smoke some weed and chill for
or
30 hours. It's like whoa.
Like there's a lot of ways to spend free time, but yeah, ours is spent really similarly. There's some variations in it though, because I know because you do a lot more hands-on stuff like with the woodworking that you're doing right now. Mm-hmm. Whereas I don't. Like me, it's like I basically become like I become an absolute potato. Like in my free time, I'll like legit just be lazy.
Like for like that was a lot of me for before. I just was like sick and tired of not working. Got done school and I didn't know what to do, so I was just like, all right, I need to do something. So I started doing the woodworking, and then I got jobs, and so now I'm just working, and I'm working out, woodworking, and working.
I got busy, got to go on now. Yeah, me, it's more chill vibes. Like when I'm not working, it's like it's working out.
Go to small group in our free time.
Yeah,
that's pretty fun.
And sports is big. And then like we have a lot of like summer's just starting, so we have like a lot of other stuff that we usually do, like hikes,
cliff jumping,
floats, cliff jumping. Like, there's a lot of stuff that we got down the pipeline that we'll probably get into once like the weather really really gets nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, our free time's the same. I think that's why we vibe so much together. That's why we have like shows that we watch together.
We spend our free time together.
Like we really spend our free time together. That's why we like each other. That's why we like hanging out with each other. That's why we freaking live together.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because I mean I'm very similar in that aspect. Cooking cooking and baking. Those are other things people do in their free time. Not much of a baker myself, but
I love
do
baking.
Love I love cooking.
I love
Like
cooking.
you just see like just straight up today, bro. Made breakfast, made like a little bit like some lunch.
Yeah.
Like cooking, I enjoy cooking. It's fun.
Baking? Ooh, dude. Ooh.
I can't. I don't do baking.
People do like a lot. Like I literally work at a craft store. People do so many crazy crafts and like art. Art. Some people do that for a job. Some people do that for fun.
That's true. Or like, well, your other thing you're doing, the dish towels. What is it called?
Yeah, crocheting. Yeah, like crocheting. Like people like the cricket. Like what? Literally that.
Yeah, we made this little logo.
Yeah.
Sick little logo.
Like people do that for their free time. Like they make T-shirts and
yeah, like our own buddies that like make shirts and stuff like that.
Yeah,
there's a lot going on. A lot of side hustles. A lot of ways to spend the time.
Yeah. Some people walk around with Tim B fanny packs and just walk around the mall.
Yeah. So if you're shopping, shopping's the one. Yeah, that's one. Like spend time shopping or walking around like a city or something like that. Arcades. Yeah. There's a lot going on.
Man, we don't do anything with our free time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just an absolute lazy potato. Like when I have free time, like aside from working out, I just like hanging out on the couch and just big chilling. Whether it's like watching something or even like sometimes just like conversations where you're just chilling with someone and just chatting.
That's actually like probably my favorite way to spend free time, and I wish that happened more.
Right, like I enjoy that too. But overall, yeah, I guess like I don't do a lot, but like I will. Like the thing is, like I will. I'm not the planning kind of guy. Like I'll never be the person that's like, all right, let's all do this thing. I'm always like, because I think that's the reason why I don't do a whole lot because I always do it myself.
Yeah.
So like sometimes I'll just do like impromptu like trips to like a movie theater by myself or something. Just cause like I don't know. I feel like the planning thing is just like I feel like it feels like work when you do that, right? When you have to like plan something huge. But
it's so funny because like literally me last night, I was like, there's nobody to hang out with. Goes to a movie. I was like, sat in the movie theater by myself. It was actually a great time. Nice, I enjoyed it.
Oh, music, bro. Like people like playing music.
Yeah.
Like playing.
I was just gonna say
or stuff like that.
A lot of my work time at Michael's, I just push the Shazam if I like a song, and then I like would for the last like month I've been like listening to just like a song and then the radio version of it whenever I'm having free time, and then choosing songs I like from that. Now I have a playlist called Straight Vibin'.
Straight Vibin'.
I just throw my headphones in when I'm like cutting wood or sanding, like the cut pieces.
Yeah.
And I just listen to that with the deafening mode on the headphones, so I'm wearing hearing protection, not blowing my eardrums out, and listening to music.
God, yeah, that's pretty sick.
So that's been a lot of my like just straight vibing.
Straight vibing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot to do. A lot to do in the free time. But yeah, ours are pretty similar. It's actually really funny because they're almost all on the same wavelength too. Like when you're playing a lot of video games, I'm playing a lot of video games.
Yeah. Well, like Smash Bros here.
Oh yeah, Smash Bros are hanging out with the boys.
Hanging out with the boys.
Campfires, just chilling.
Yeah. Barbecue.
This hobby just makes me excited for summer, dude. Like I just like actually like doing stuff in the summer. We'll get there though. But yeah.
Anyways.
All right, my bald brother. Any final thoughts, topics, or comments?
I think we covered a lot of it. Like, besides like collecting.
Collecting.
I just see all your shoes, and I was like, man, people like to collect stuff in their free time.
Yeah, that's actually that's a good one. That's a good one to close on, because this like I've always liked sneakers, I guess, but I've never really like developed them like a full on like collection until the pandemic. Like once like 2020 hit, like there was like a brief period of time between March and May where I didn't spend any money. I didn't do anything. And then all of a sudden I just got into sneakers because I remember I had a couple like you guys can't see it on screen, but I've had like a couple of these I had before the pandemic. So like the only ones before pandemic that I owned were these ones and these ones. Just those two.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 10 on the shelf.
There's 10 on the shelf right now. There's some that are missing.
Like 3 or 4 upstairs minimum.
Yeah. So like in this there's 2 stacks basically, and each stack has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 boxes, and then I always put one on top. And then the 2 on top are missing right now, so they add those 2, and then there's one that sits here, one that sits there. So there's only
14.
14, and that means there's still like 5 spots open. But like out of these like that were chilling, only those 2 existed in the collection.
Yeah.
And then like somehow even like rotated out of the collection since the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild.
That's funny.
How funny is that? Yeah, but it all started during the pandemic. Collecting, like this whole like collection started afterwards.
Well, like some people would take like you said, watching history. Like I've heard people that like they're like, oh, I love podcasts. I like sent someone the podcast link. I was like, yeah, listen to us,
bro.
All right,
bro. Now that we're talking about like, this is Lou. This is our free time. We love chatting with each other and sharing our dumb conversations with y'all.
Like literally, the way that we created this was, I was like, Zeke, let's make a podcast, and Cody was like, what would you guys even do it on? I was like, random crap. And then he's like, what do you mean? I was like, random topic generator. We just go in, and then he's like, it's actually not a bad idea. And here we are.
And this is literally what we do. Like off camera, like before even the podcast, even sometimes after like podcasts, we'll just randomly chat about like the randomest things.
Yeah, today we have like 2 or 3 times where
exactly. Like we just and this is literally like it's the same energy we bring here. It's the same energy we have like while we're chilling or whatever the hell we're doing, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is like you want to see how we really like to spend our free time, so, like chatting with each other, and now we have like people that watch us chat with each other.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah,
sick.
Cool boy.
Oh.
Yeah, that's all we got for today. That was a simple topic.
Yeah. No research needed.
No research needed. If you want to put it in the comments what you guys do in your free time, we'd totally love to like see what other people do, because like we know there's like we said,
we'll do a reaction video.
There's a variety of ways that people spend their free time, right? And we'd love to see how other people differ from our own.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's our episode. Thank you for joining us once again. We'll see you next week with a brand new topic.
All right, ciao.
Have a good one.